Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be my video all about how Loki and Kang just set up everything that's going to be happening during Marvel Phase 4 in the movies and the Disney Plus series like Marvel's What If. Everything is connected. There's going to be a bunch of really cool Easter eggs, so if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the episodes. I will be doing videos for all the What If episodes. It's going to start in a couple weeks on August 11th. It'll be a Wednesday show just like Loki, so it'll be the exact same video schedule that I had for my Loki videos. And careful for spoilers for everything that happened on the Loki series if you have not seen those episodes yet, because a lot of what's happening is based on what happened at the end of Loki episode 6. But during the Loki finale, Kang revealed his grand plan and the gambit for Loki and Sylvie: kill him, stop his current system of using the TVA to control the single sacred timeline that we've known is the main MCU timeline for all the Marvel movies so far, or take his place and run the TVA themselves and keep the system going, revealing that as bad as it was that he was erasing all these other alternate timelines for seemingly small reasons, he was in fact stopping alternate timelines from being created wherein variants of himself, dangerous variants, would rise up like evil versions of Kang, because that would lead to another all-out multiverse Kang war and threaten to destroy all of reality, the entire multiverse as we know it. Sylvie killed him not because she wanted a multiverse war, but because she didn't believe what he was saying. Turns out he was telling the truth. Oops. And as we see the sacred timeline branch out into hundreds, then thousands of alternate timelines, alternate realities, the infinite Kang variants start rising up and the multiverse war starts playing out again. Killing He Who Remains Kang also reset the timeline so that everything in the main MCU timeline that we've seen so far restarts. The reason it did that was just because of the way he was manipulating the timeline to keep it in a loop state. It just made it easier to control all of time simultaneously that way. But now Marvel's using each of these new branches that you see growing, these branch timelines, as a way to explain all the new MCU multiverse of the movies and the shows. Like, this is a branch where the Sony Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire took place. Here's a branch representing the universe where the Amazing Spider-Man Andrew Garfield movies took place. Here's another branch representing the Marvel Netflix universe. Here's one for the Deadpool movies, another one for the Fox movies, and so on and so forth. You get the idea. And now it makes more sense why Marvel waited to release the What If episodes till now, because they're using Loki to set up most of the major twists of the next several years of the Marvel movies and Disney Plus series. Like Spider-Man No Way Home, for instance. This is probably one of the best reasons why Sony has not released the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer yet. After you watch the Loki finale, now it'll make more sense when a bunch of characters from the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies start appearing in the main MCU universe with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Oh, it's the Kang War. It's happening across the multiverse. Whole universes are being deleted en masse. Doctor Strange is trying to salvage what he can, and these Sinister Six Tobey Maguire characters, Andrew Garfield characters, have no way home right now, just like Sylvie had no way home because her timeline was deleted. There was a rumor a long time ago that the title of Spider-Man No Way Home was a reference to the villains, the multiverse Sinister Six characters, having no way home, and now that makes a little more sense. The Marvel What If episodes are just a different spin on that concept. You all probably noticed in the last big What If trailer, they focused very heavily on the footage that mirrored the creation of the original Avengers team through Marvel Phase 1, 2, and 3. A lot of the scenes were from the early Marvel Phase 1 movies just flipped on their head, like, what if Iron Man didn't become Iron Man? What if he was saved by Killmonger? And what if Killmonger became Black Panther? What if skinny boy Steve Rogers became Howard Stark's version of Iron Man during World War II, and Peggy Carter got the super soldier serum, becoming Captain Britain? The reason why she's got this British uniform, the British flag on her shield, is because she was part of the British Army when she was working on the Super Soldier Project. But I believe they're just calling her Captain Carter during the series, like that's what it'll say on all of her toys. We see a new version of the Doctor Strange origin story where he goes super dark, and the events of the first Thor movie play out differently. Thor gets his hammer back without learning his lesson, seems like, and winds up turning into an even bigger party animal. I believe that's why they're calling him Party Thor during the series. And then they legit show us that Avengers Assemble moment from the first Avengers movie, but suddenly it's different and you have all these different characters becoming a different version of the team. Even though they're the Multiverse Avengers, I believe the name that they're using on the show, just to differentiate it, is the Guardians of the Multiverse. But it's a lot like Marvel's Exiles if you're a big comic book fan. But the idea in the Loki finale here is that a lot of the What If episodes are basically taken from a lot of these different branches that you see popping up at the end of the episode. Like, you have all these realities that Kang was trying to prevent with all this crazy WTF stuff happening. And we'll see some of that play out during the Marvel What If episodes. The Watcher, played by Jeffrey Wright, you may recognize his voice if you didn't see the big Comic-Con panel where they announced he was playing Marvel's Watcher, is watching all this play out and, per the rules of his race, can't really interfere. Like, he explains that during the trailer. He's bound to not interfere, but he can speak to them, explain the stakes to them, and give them a push, so to speak. So as he narrates the action, watching this all play out across the multiverse, you have these multiverse Avengers coming together from across all the episodes. And even though it kind of seems like Ultron is the main villain of Season 1, like Ultron with all the Infinity Stones and Vision's body, it seems like, good pick for main villain, but they haven't completely explained how they're going to play that because, for instance, the Infinity Stones only work in the original universe that they came from, so unless Marvel changes that, this version of Ultron would only be able to use these Infinity Stones in the original reality that he came from. So what they might be doing, because they are assembling all these different characters from different alternate universes, is they might be going for a really Rick and Morty twist, like Rick and Morty meets Marvel's Exiles. If you're not familiar with Marvel's Exiles, they're a multiverse team made up of characters from different realities, and they just travel around to different universes, solving really big problems in each different universe. During Rick and Morty, early on in the series, they introduced the concept that sometimes the main version of Rick, or sometimes other Ricks as well, would pack up their junk and just permanently move to another reality, maybe because the one they were in got destroyed, or something terrible happened that they couldn't fix or didn't want to fix, like everyone getting Cronenberged. We actually saw a good comparison to this during the What If trailer. It would be like Marvel's zombies happening. Like, oh crap, everybody's been turned into a zombie on this planet. There's no way we can fix this. Time to pack up our crap and head to a different universe.
Pack your shit. That's only gonna keep them down for a little bit, Morty. You f***ed with squirrels, Morty. We got a good 5 minutes before they're backing up on our ass, Morty. We have to pack up and move to a new reality, Morty.
So even though Marvel's What If episodes are animated, it's still connected to the other Marvel movies and live-action Disney Plus series like Loki. It's just them taking advantage of all the chaos that Loki and Sylvie caused, unleashing the true version of the multiverse. And Kevin Feige said, what if we make it animated? Everyone get your Family Guy memes ready. We'll see how many times they actually say the name of the show inside the show itself. Like, see, he said the thing. He called it What If. If you understand animation, you also understand why they're doing this animated, because if they did action and fight scenes every 5 seconds at this scale in live action, it would cost more money to make this show than they used to make Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame combined. And Disney's like, we're not going to spend $1 billion making 10 episodes of television. But Kevin Feige made this big deal about how they wanted every episode of What If to feel like a big Marvel movie by itself, as opposed to say like WandaVision or even Loki, which had really big episodes. They did feel amazing, but most of the time they still felt like TV shows, and every once in a while they would just get really, really huge. If you're a big fan of the classic What If comic book stories, the other big change they made here is that the series What If is meant to be serialized episodes, so all the episodes are connected in a way that the original What If comics were not. Like you see Captain Carter start in World War II in her episode, I believe that's meant to be episode 1, but then you also see her show up later in the Doctor Strange episode to recruit him. You see Killmonger in that early Iron Man 1 episode, but then you also see him later fighting Ultron's army in Wakanda. You see Thor get his hammer back in the early Thor movie episode, then later he's fighting Ultron's army in Vegas, and then also later in their big Avengers episode, you see them together doing their Avengers Assemble moment. There are supposed to be 10 episodes in Season 1. They've already confirmed a while ago it will get a Season 2, but they didn't say when that's going to premiere. Hopefully it'll be next year and we don't have to wait that long. But it sounds like they spend most of Season 1 just going around assembling this team across all the episodes, doing the origin stories, like, here are the major events of the MCU that went down differently in these realities. And then when we get to Season 2, they just spend all the episodes flying around the different universes, solving problems as the team, and maybe cycling the roster every once in a while. Because the other big thing is they have all the MCU actors coming back to play their characters. So I don't expect, for instance, like Chris Hemsworth to come back for 10 seasons of What If. There were really only like 2 or 3 Marvel actors that didn't come back to voice their characters. Everybody else came back. Like Robert Downey Jr. already kind of said he's retired as Iron Man, so that's why he's not coming back. Chris Evans kind of said the same thing, retired from doing Captain America. But you have people like Tom Holland doing the voice of his version of Spider-Man when Spider-Man shows up during the series. In terms of the What If versions of the characters, though, showing up in live action, I think if that winds up happening, it won't happen till the next big Secret War style movie, and they'll be like background characters. Like they'll pay off the promise of a lot of these alternate realities. But really, the Loki finale just teased the concept of a Secret War style movie happening in the future, like an all-out multiverse war with many alternate universe versions of characters battling to save their realities, all because of what Kang's variants are doing. So everyone let me know in the comments, if we do start seeing some of the characters from the What If series, the alternate universe versions, showing up in live action, which movie do you think that will be? And which versions of the characters do you want to see show up in live action? But hopefully that explains what's going on. And if you were wondering, yes, the series is canon, but like I said, you probably won't start seeing these animated characters actually crossing over, like legit crossing over in live action, till like way, way down the road in a big crossover Secret War style movie. Obviously, a lot of what happened in the Loki finale will inform what's happening in Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, Ant-Man 3, Quantumania. I'll talk about that when we get some new footage for all these upcoming movies. And there's all kinds of rumors about the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Whenever they do decide to release that, of course I'll do a video for it. Everyone click here for my Loki finale alternate ending and deleted scenes video, and click here for all my Loki episode videos. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys tonight.